Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be unboxing KHAGRA'S RAVAGERS for Warhammer Underworlds. So here's the newest release and the newest warband for Warhammer Underworlds, and this is part of the Season 4 Direchasm. So I've just started playing Underworlds and recently did the unboxing for the Direchasm main game, and so if you want to check that out, the video's up on the channel now. And here's the first expansion that's come out this year for that main game. I can't wait to open it and see what's inside. The box art looks great, some really great images, and I really like the style they're going with the Underworlds. This is similar to the last season, Beastgrave, with the same box packaging. So it looks like they're going with the same packaging there, but just updating it to have the Direchasm on the front. But all around looking good. On the side it tells you exactly what you're going to get, how to build it, construct your deck, and then battle your rivals. And then on the back it tells us what we're going to get in the box. So we're going to get 4 fighters with this warband, and they're all easy to build Citadel miniatures. And you're going to get 4 fighter cards, 1 Desecration Tokens card, 32 KHAGRA'S Ravagers, and 30 Universal Upgrade, Ploy, Spell, and Objective cards. So there's tons of cards in there to either use them specifically for KHAGRA'S Ravagers, or you've got those 30 Universal Upgrades which you can use with all your warbands. So it's going to be packed with loads of cool stuff. And I picked this up at Element Games for £21.25, and the RRP on this is £25, so it's a great saving there at Element Games. And I'll put a link in the description below so you can go there and save that money too, and that'll be an affiliate link. But it won't cost you anything extra. In fact, it'll save you that money, and you can also get a discount on loads of other products there. And for every sale made through the affiliate link, I'll get a small commission, and that's going to help me grow the channel and create many more videos like this. So thanks so much for that support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So let's get it open and see what's inside. So I've got some of these other expansions. I bought them for Warcry to use the miniatures as heroes and additional fighters for the warbands. And I'll be doing the same with this as well, for sure. And let's have a look inside, see what we get. So there's no film on this. Just pop it open. Oh, bit of tape. Let's cut that off. There we go. So we pop that open. And this is nice. This is all going to come in a little tray. And that's everything out of the box. Let's put that to one side. So it all comes in this nice little black tray, all really neat. And then we're going to get a couple of sprues. And then we get the 2 card packs. And that's everything that we need included there. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go through, take a look at the sprues in detail. Then we'll have a quick flick through the card packs so you can see what's included there. And then I'll go away, build the miniatures so you can see them up close built and see exactly what they look like. And then after that, maybe we'll pick out a couple of interesting cards to have a look at in detail. But I won't go through all the cards in detail in this video. That'll be something I'll do later. But for now, I'll just give you a little sneaky peek, and then you can see if this is something you'd like to pick up for your game. Right, so let's do the sprues first. So here we go, we're going to get 2 sprues. Let's go through this one first. And so what's really great with the Underworlds miniatures is you get these pre-formed bases. So you don't have to do any making of any or crafting for the bases. They all come pre-formed, so you just paint them up, which is really great. And let's have a closer look at the torsos and the bodies. Yeah, loads of detail as we expect by now. This is really cool. So these are great looking miniatures so far. The shield and the cloak on the back there, that's great. We've got some nice weapons, another cool shield. And this one's really good. We've got the cloak, and then it's got the sword on the back, and he's got hold of this big axe. So that's a really nice piece. That's probably my favourite off this sprue. And then the second one. Again, we've got the bases already done for us. And here's another good one, with the kind of fur and the cloak and the sword on the back. So this is a nice touch. And a bit more detail there. Really good. So this is going to be the sorceress kind of figure, I imagine. Another one, that's really good. So yeah, the detail's awesome on these. Really nice. And there's the base. I'll go in really close on the base. So you can see the skulls, chains, everything. Really good. So that's going to give us our 4 miniatures, so really great detail. These are going to be really easy to put together, and what you see on the box is what you're going to get. So these are going to be pretty much push fit, easy to build. I'll trim them off a little bit and glue them so that they're put together nice and flush, and they come in one pose. You can't really kind of alter these unless you start cutting away and gluing and using maybe some green stuff and things like that to put some different poses. So they are going to be as you see them with no variations, but that's okay. Usually with the Underworlds, they're so good anyway, and they're so unique and individual that they all look really great. So there we go, that's those. Now we'll take a look at the cards. So here's our 62 cards. I'll just be careful opening these up. And then so we're going to get 32 that are specific to KHAGRA'S Ravagers, and then 30 universal. So let's get these out. So these are our universal ones, so let's take a look at those first. And these are going to be a mix of all universal upgrades, ploys, spells and objective cards. So I'll just flick through real quick just so you can see them. And it's really cool learning this game and getting to see all the artwork and a totally different style to Warcry that I've been used to seeing. So this is really great. But these all look so good. And the game, from what I've seen of Underworld so far, there's so much depth to it. And although it's quite simple to get started and playing with, I think with having so many cards available, you really can go deep in the game and play different tactics. But this is great. These are all looking awesome, really nice. And again, we'll go through them later on. Once I've built the miniatures, I'll just pick out a few, have a good look through, and I'll pick out a few interesting ones, and we can just talk about those. But you'll want to be seeing most of them for yourself when you get the pack for sure. So there's the universal ones. And now we've got the set that's unique to KHAGRA'S Ravagers. And again, a nice image there on that card. And then this is going to tell us all about KHAGRA'S Ravagers. So there we go. There's a little introduction to the Ravagers there on that card. And then let's have a look at the fighter cards first. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 fighter cards. So let's check those out. Here's our first one, Dower Kragen. And then flipping it over for the inspired. All looking good. Then we've got Zarchia Bittersoul. That's the inspired side. Razek God Blessed. Again, the other side as well. And then finally, the 4th fighter is KHAGRA the Usurper. And there's the inspired card. Really nice. They're awesome. And then we've got this Desecration Tokens card. It looks like that's the same on both sides. There we are, there's that one. And then we've got our 2 sets of cards. So we've got our power cards. Let's have a quick flick through them. And again, I'll pick some of these power cards out to have a look through later. There we go. But let's have a quick look at the artwork. Really nice. And these are all going to be specific to KHAGRA'S Ravagers. So this is going to be really fun reading through these and then choosing which ones we're going to include. Really cool. And this is a great part of the game, collecting the cards. And you can still pick up a lot of the old sets. I mean, certainly Beastgrave's still around. I got really lucky and was able to pick up Shadespire. But yeah, there's plenty you can still get. So you'll be able to go back and get some other cards if you want to increase your collection. Okay, now we've got our objective cards. And these are going to be good. I can't wait to read through these. We'll probably look at some of the high value ones for sure. Really nice. And these are all for KHAGRA'S Ravagers. So it'll be great to see what kind of tactics we're going to play with this warband. It's going to be really fun. There we are. So there's all the cards. And I'll go away now and I'll build the miniatures. And then we'll come back, we'll take a look at the miniatures close up. I'll also pick out a few of these cards that we can just look at detail and go through. So I'll see you back here in a second. So before we take a look at the built miniatures, here's the instruction little booklet that came with it as well. And there we are, you can see it nice and simple, all push fit. It says there's no glue required, but I always think it's nice to glue these together and fix them, especially when you're going to paint them. You want them to like not come apart or anything like that. So nice and easy, very small booklet, and won't take long to build these at all. Here we go, here's KHAGRA the Usurper, all built now, and I thought it'd be cool to take a look at the fighter cards alongside the miniature. And so here you go, we've got KHAGRA the Usurper, and she comes armed with a demon-bound mace, and this mace has got a weapon range of 1. She can make 2 attacks, and that deals 3 damage. And then she's got a movement of 3 with a defense dice. That's 1 defense dice she can roll, and she can take 4 wounds. And then once she takes 4 wounds, that's her out of the game. And then flipping it over to KHAGRA Inspired. Now the weapon is still a 1, 2, and 3, but these have gone up now. So the range is 4. We've got 2 dice to roll for defense dice, and still that 4 wounds that she can take. And here you can see that KHAGRA's got a reaction. So it's called Sacrifice. And after an activation in which this fighter's attack action takes the target out of action, desecrate 1 objective in the same hex as this fighter or the target. And it says there to see desecration tokens. And you get this card here that comes with the KHAGRA'S Ravagers, and this is all to do with them. This is specific to them, these desecrations. So there's some rules there to go through. I think that would make a cool video. I don't know what you think, whether I do a video on these desecration tokens and how they play, and then do some examples on the battlefield. I think that would be cool. But yeah, let me know what you think. And then flipping over again for KHAGRA Inspired, you can see that the sacrifice reaction stays the same there. And next we've got Zarchia Bittersoul, and this is a great miniature, and so all these Underworlds miniatures are so cool, but this is especially good. Some real expression there, and a great like sculpt, and really cool. So this is Zarchia Bittersoul, and she is like a magic. She's a sorceress. You can see by the icon here, the rune mark, and so she's got a sorceress staff and a spike tongue curse. So these are 2 kind of weapons or attacks she can make. And this first one's got a range of 2 attack dice, and going to be dealing 1 damage. And this one's got a range of 3, and this is going to deal 1 damage. And for the attack dice, we look at the number here next to the rune mark, and that signifies that it's 2, so that'll be 2 dice. And then here we go. She's got Spike Tongue Curse. If this attack action fails, this fighter suffers backlash. So we'd have to check that in the rule. And also for sacrifice, see KHAGRA's fighter card. So we can use KHAGRA's fighter card to get all the details of sacrifice. I guess they're doing that. They can't fit it all on this small card. So there we go. And for Zarchia to be inspired, it says here that after an activation, there are 3 or more desecration tokens on the battlefield. So these desecration tokens are going to be key. And if we flip the card over, we can see that Zarchia Inspired has still got 2 weapons, and this number by the rune mark remains the same, and so the weapons haven't changed, but here we've got a movement of 3, can make 1 defense, and she can take 3 wounds. So that's Zarchia Inspired, and the Spike Tongue Curse is the same, and so is the sacrifice. And our next fighter is Dower Kragen, and you can tell he's the one with the sword and the axe. And this guy, he's got a weapon range of 1. He can make 3 attacks, so that's cool, and he's going to deal 2 damage. He's got a movement of 3, can roll 1 dice for defense, and can take 4 wounds. And again, for him to be inspired, after an activation, there's got to be 3 or more desecration tokens on the battlefield. And here, for this section, called Despoil, if this fighter holds an objective at the end of the action phase, desecrate that objective. And again, for sacrifice, we just take a look back at KHAGRA's fighter card. And flipping the card over so we can see Kragen Inspired. You see that weapon still got a range of 1, dealing 3 attacks and 2 damage. But now we've got a movement of 4, 1 dice to defend with, and can take 4 wounds. And again, these extra abilities, they remain the same. So here you see that the movements increase, but we've also got Cleave here, and that's going to give some extra abilities during the battle. And now we're on to our 4th and final fighter, and this is Razek Godblessed, And he's got a shield and an axe. And here he's got a weapon range of 1, can make 2 attacks, dealing 2 damage. He's got a movement of 3, can make 1 dice in defense, and can take 4 wounds. And for him, again, after an activation, there are 3 or more desecration tokens on the battlefield. He can be inspired. And then for his abilities, despoil. If this fighter holds an objective at the end of the action phase, desecrate that objective. And again, sacrifice, we take a look at KHAGRA'S fight card to get the information on that. So let's flip him over and see what he gets when he's inspired. And so here we're getting more movement. So we've got movement of 4, can now roll 2 dice in defense and can take 4 wounds, and everything else appears to have remained the same. So you can see these desecration tokens are really going to play a big part in this warband, and especially for them to get inspired. So that's something you're really going to have to learn and get used to put to good use. So from the universal cards, I've picked out 1 objective card, and then I picked out a ploy, and I also picked out an upgrade. So we'll go through those now, and then you can see what you think of these. But these are just 3 that stood out to me. So the first one is our objective, and this is called Magical Mark. A gifted mage can turn the ghoulish magic of Direchasm to their ends. Score this in an end phase if a friendly wizard is holding an objective. And this is for 1 glory point. And this next one is a ploy, and this is called Shocking Ferocity. How can anyone prepare to face such inhuman savagery? This is a reaction. Play this during an attack action that targets an adjacent friendly fighter after the deal damage step. Deal 1 damage to the attacker. So I like that one, nice and simple. And then our final one that we've got is this one here, and this is an upgrade, and it's called Scavenged Armour. 1 warrior's leavings are another's salvation. You cannot give this upgrade to a fighter in your territory. When you give this upgrade to a fighter, give that fighter 1 guard token plus 1 to wounds. So again, nice and straightforward, and I think this is good if you're an attacking warband moving into your opponent's territory. So you can't give it to a fighter in your own territory, but you can give it to a friendly fighter in the enemy territory. So that's the 3 universal ones that I like the look of. But now let's take a look at 3 from the actual ones that are specific to KHAGRA'S Ravagers. Here we go. Here are the cards for KHAGRA'S Ravagers. And I've gone for an objective card. I've gone for a ploy and a spell. And so let's do the objective card. And this is for 2 glory points. And it's called Dark Approval. Prove your patron's primacy by defeating any who would hope to rival your power. And this is a surge. Score this immediately after an activation in which your leader makes an attack action that takes an enemy leader out of action. So this is really good. So if you're going head hunting, you want to take out the enemy's leader, this is going to give you 2 nice glory points there. And the next one, let's take a look at the ploy, and this is called Eternal Vendetta. Your masters care nothing for you. Mine have given me the strength to take the heads of fools like you. And that's a quote by Dower Kragen. You can re-roll 1 attack dice in the attack roll of the first attack action made by a friendly fighter in the next activation. Again, nice and simple, and one that I like the sound of. So that was really great. And now let's take a look at the spell. And that's this card here. And you see the rune mark at the top is for the spell. And this is called Musk of Darkness. One of the Ravagers is surrounded by a pillar of dark mist, reappearing where they can cause the greatest harm. And this is a gambit spell. If cast, choose 1 friendly fighter within 3 hexes of the caster. Place that fighter in the same hex as an objective in enemy territory. Then give that fighter 1 move token. That's a really great spell to be able to use. I think that would be really, really good to get in the game, and certainly great for KHAGRA'S Ravagers here. So this is a great looking warband. The miniatures are awesome. I really like them, and I think that it's going to be great to read through all the cards, take my time and really get to learn them, and also figure out this desecration token and play a few games to practice that. But I've got to say, I've only been playing Underworlds for a few days now, and since unboxing Direchasm, which you can see a video of, and now KHAGRA'S Ravagers, it's becoming more and more obvious that this is a real deep game. There's so much to it, and you could play it quite simply just using the cards that come with KHAGRA'S Ravagers with pre-built decks, or you can build your own decks using the universal cards from not just this pack, but from any expansion and from any game, and also the previous games and expansions from the previous seasons. So that's really exciting and fun, and what a cool thing to collect, and it's going to be great learning it all. And also I'm really looking forward to building the decks and sharing that with you. And if there's anything you want to add here, or if I get anything wrong, please jump in the comments below and let me know. So I'm still learning the game and there's lots to figure out, so I'm bound to make mistakes as I go. So yeah, please correct those and add any tips or anything you'd like to kind of give any feedback on in the comment section below. That'd be awesome. Thank you. I think these miniatures are also going to be great to use in Warcry, so we can use these as heroes and allies or just as extra fighters, and going with a warband with the Lord there on the Karkadrak, that's going to be awesome, and some of the other fighters. So they certainly fit in really well with these, and I think it's going to be a great addition for Warcry and well worth the money to pick up some extra fighters and heroes. So I really like these Underworld sets. I think they're great value. And don't forget, there's links in the description so you can pick this up at Element Games and you can save up to 20% there on all their Warhammer products. Let me know what you think about KHAGRA'S Ravagers. Have you got them yet? Have you played them? What's worked? What doesn't work? And what cards do you think will really be good for them to play? Thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like the video, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.